and inspirational. Her charisma is part of what makes her well respected by her peers, and we would like to commemorate her valedictorian address to the graduating class of 2013 with a token of appreciation from her peers and teachers. Ladies and gentlemen, I present our valedictorian, Laura Penstone.
Good evening. Before I begin, I'd just like to thank the admin, teachers, and students for giving me this opportunity. It's an incredible honor to be speaking on behalf of a group of people that I respect so much, so thank you. During the speech writing process, I asked myself, what makes a good speech? Is it the words that have been planned and rehearsed to death? Is it the person giving the speech? I think it's the people that the speech was written for. Langstaff graduates, you have inspired me, not only for this speech, but over the past 4 years. It's been a journey, and each and every one of you has shaped it into a giant memory that I will cherish for the rest of my life. When it was announced that I would be valedictorian, some people came up to me and said, Laura, don't mess up. Hundreds of people are watching, and my grandmother flew in from Alberta to be here tonight. That's some good advice, I suppose. Other people came up to me and asked for a shout out, and I'm just realizing now that I probably could have made a bit of money with that. Some people approached me and said, Laura, I hope you make it sad, and I better cry. It's a valid request, and I considered making the speech more sentimental, but I decided against it for 2 reasons. The first reason is that when I think back on my time at Langstaff, I don't tear up. It's been an incredible 4 years, full of laughter and smiles, and that's what I wanted to share with you today. The second reason is, if I made the speech too sad, I would just be a giant mess of tears up here myself, and I would never be able to live that down. Plus, I don't want to disappoint the grandmother from Alberta. So, with that said, here goes nothing. I remember walking into Langstaff for the first time, 5 feet tall, thinking that I was going to be here forever. And now that I'm leaving, still 5 feet tall, I wish that I could stay a little while longer. And despite not even gaining an inch in height, I have grown on the inside, and we all have. They say the journey is more important than the destination, and each journey starts with many firsts. Some good, some not so great. I still remember my first day at Langstaff. I remember my first class. It was French Tech with Monsieur McKinley-Fack. I remember my first detention, also with Monsieur McKinley-Fack. And while we all experienced our unique set of firsts, we experienced them together. First new friends, first tests, first ISUs. Boy, did they seem scary at the time. First time visiting the library, which also seemed kind of scary. First time being told that there's no eating or drinking in the library. That would not be the last time you'd be told that there's no eating or drinking in the library. So fast forward to the last 2 months of school where everyone was experiencing their lasts, last tests, last ISUs, last university or college acceptances. And now, thanks to the past 4 years, we're all really well prepared for a new set of firsts come the fall. It will be different, but it will be great. Now, I'm not sure I'm qualified to give any advice. I'm only 18 years old and I don't have a long gray beard to stroke, but I'm gonna go ahead and try anyways. As you take on the next chapter of your life, I would be lying if I said it was always gonna be easy, because, well, it isn't. But the hardships are what make the good times so special. You will face struggles and there will be obstacles to overcome. You might come across a problem that you simply can't solve because we can't all be Mr. Smith. But as a wise cartoon character once said, sucking at something is the first step to becoming sort of good at something. So don't be discouraged. Chances are that people around you are all in the same boat anyways. My mom always told me that anything worth having is worth working hard for, be it a university degree, a job, or even a friendship. If you really want it, it's worth the struggle. Another thing to keep in mind as we move on to bigger and greater things is that all of us are just one Facebook post, tweet, text message, phone call, Skype, fax, BlackBerry Messenger, iChat, Instagram, MySpace, Snapchat, email, Vine, Friendster, or a good old handwritten letter away. Gosh, I love technology. By graduating from high school, it kind of seems like we're hitting the reset button on our lives. Everything we've built at Langstaff, the friends that we've made, the teachers that we've connected with, all of that is gone next year. And while it seems like a sad thought, it's also a nice reminder that what you've done once, you can do again. Probably even better and with less of a delay. So, you just need to make your mark, no matter your size. You might be vertically challenged like myself, or you might be a big friendly giant like Mr. Taylor. As many of you know, this year the yearbook was my little project. I bring this up not so that I can be blamed, not so that I can be blamed for all the embarrassing spelling mistakes, but because working on the yearbook exposed me to all the great things that happened at Langstaff. We got a visit from Santa, or multiple Santas. We got to marry whoever we wanted, as many times as we wanted, because apparently Langstaff supports polygamy. The Langstaff Spirit Days, waiting all year for Pajama Day because it meant that we could just roll out of bed and go to school and no one could judge us. Within the school, at least. Suit Up Day, where all the guys bragged that they had tied the ties themselves. Sunglasses Day with questionable timing. April 20th. Really? Spirit Wear was also really big this year. The company had a heart attack when they received the Langstaff order. We wore our blue and yellow clothes with pride. We're a very proud group of bears. Actually, fun fact, a group of bears is actually called a sleuth. So that makes us a proud sleuth of bears, which sounds just that much cooler. Another thing I learned while putting together the yearbook is that we have one good-looking graduating year. It's true that over the past 4 years, we've managed to get on each other's nerves a bit. I mean, it's bound to happen when you spend 6 hours a day with the same people. But despite our differences, we've managed to be there for each other when we needed it most. When we lost Adam Zuber 2 years ago, we came together to heal. And while Adam is not physically in this room, he is in here with all of us, in our hearts, and he will never be forgotten. It's difficult to stand here and give a speech on behalf of all the Langstaff graduates because we all spent the past 4 years very differently. Some of us spent our time dodging chalk in chemistry class. Some of us spent our time standing in the cafeteria hallway, probably better known as the berro hallway, while others spent their time in the weight room trying to buff up like Mr. Schmidt. Though this workout usually consisted of half an hour of weight training followed by 3 hours of talking about the workout and asking other people, "Bro, do you even lift?" And just like our experiences were different, so were the things that we learned. Things such as the time required for a projectile to cross a field, or some more practical things like the time required to get to Harvey's and back at lunch. Some lessons were simply never learned. No matter how many all-nighters we pulled, we still procrastinated on Twitter, talking about all the work we had to do, but leaving the assignments until the night before or morning they were due. And no matter how the past 4 years were spent, it's important to remember that high school is not measured in tests or grades. It's measured in laughs and friends and narrowly avoided chalk pieces. It's measured in field trips, spirit days, and school dances and Wasaga trips. Now it's time for the thank yous, because we certainly did not make it here on our own. First, on behalf of all the Langstaff graduates, I'd like to thank the people who have set us in the right direction from our first days as grade 9s, the teachers. The people who give us homework and detention and somehow arrange it so that we have 3 tests and a presentation all on the same day. I'm still not sure how they do it. And so we will thank them, because they are the teachers that Langstaff deserves, but not the ones we need anymore. They are Langstaff's silent guardians, watchful protectors, dark knights. But seriously, the Langstaff teachers are a special breed. They stay after school until 6 o'clock to help us with our work. They answer all our questions, even the stupid ones, and they treat us not only as students, but as equals. They ask us how we're doing, and they discuss the latest episode of Breaking Bad with us. They tweet us on weekends to remind us to stay out of trouble. And they also dress up in bear costumes and thrift store coats just to film a video to send us off with. Thank you to the admin and guidance department for making sure we have everything we need for the years to come. Those university assemblies seemed overwhelming at the time, but they were exactly what we needed. Thank you to the caretakers for keeping Langstaff spotless. And free of any vandalism. And thank you to the secretaries for validating all of our absences. The other set of people who need to be thanked tonight are the parents and guardians. The people who drive us to school and try to help us with our homework. The people who offer their encouragement and try to get it right, even though sometimes it seems like they don't. It's a thankless job, but they do it anyway. So thank your parents tonight, because believe it or not, they're actually pretty smart, and they can withhold dinner. And to my parents, Mom, Dad, I need $50. Please don't ask why. But seriously, you two are my #1 fans. You help me when I'm at my worst, and you celebrate me when I'm at my best. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do next year without you at university. I can do grade 12 physics, but I am unable to make my own lunch in the morning. Thanks, Mom. I'd also quickly like to thank one last person, and that is my brother. Stephen, without your encouragement and advice to step out of my comfort zone, I can honestly say that I would not be standing at this podium here right now, so thank you, you're the best. For many, 2013 will be the year that the Toronto Maple Leafs made the playoffs for the first time in 9 years. For us, it will be the year that we graduated. It's weird to think that in this room are future engineers, artists, doctors, lawyers, teachers, what have you. We all have the potential to be something amazing. We've been put on the right track and now it's up to us. Not bad for what used to be a women's prison. Now, before we throw our hats up and celebrate our graduation, I'd like to share a little song that I wrote about my time at Langstaff. A Laura Penstone original, if you will. So, I've never written a song, and I have a terrible singing voice, and I also don't play the ukulele. So with that said, I'm just going to go ahead and try to tune this real quick. I'm just kidding, I tuned it this morning. Can you hear it? It sits on top of the hill, it's Langstaff Secondary School. 4 years in the place and I have yet to find the pool. I ride the 83, but I hope I didn't miss it. Walking down the berro hall, get asked for a bus ticket. I skipped breakfast this morning, and lunch I didn't pack. It's campaign week at school, and they'll be bribing us with snacks. This lesson is too long, look how much I wrote. The teacher saves the day because they printed out the note. Library book is overdue, I owe a $3 fee. I better pay it soon because Mr. Baxter's after me. I'm expecting a text and I'm feeling kind of nervous. I'm in the math hall and I can't get any service. Take a peek at my notebook, it's covered in doodles. I didn't listen in class because it's all on the Moodle. I'm parched, I need a drink, so I head to the fountain. Class on the 3rd floor, that's like climbing a mountain. Out in the courtyard, I see him wanna pet the ducks. The teachers say they're vicious, but I don't give a care. I have a presentation to make. Bring out the multimedia. The information is poor, and my source is Wikipedia. Shakespeare test tomorrow. I must know the key quotes. I might ace it after all, cause I read through the spark notes. 5 minutes to get to class, but the song is only 3, and I still remember a time when forks were offered for free. Now I guess this is the end, so let's finish and cheers. Langstaff, you're amazing. Thanks for all of the great